Irish Prepper here. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me this evening for me. Actually, it's about like, I don't know, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Couldn't sleep, so I decided to do a video, and I'm going to do another top 10. Okay? This is just some of the stuff that I've come up with or discovered that we're making mistakes with in our little 72-hour kits. Okay, when I say little 72-hour kits, that's just your go bag basically. Okay, that's gonna last you the 3 days, and you better be getting out of Dodge after that. And you might even be wanting to be using that while you're getting out of Dodge. Okay, it might take you that long just to walk out of town. Okay, because and it might take you that long because you're gonna be with your family. You're going to be hauling equipment, and supplies. You're going to be, or not, and if you want to be moving faster, and you're going to be trying to be staying safe. You're going to be trying to keep your family safe, and so it's going to take you a while. If you're bugging out, it's going to take you a while. Okay, but anyway, so this is the top 10 mistakes found in most 72-hour kits. Okay. I've tested and reviewed dozens of 72-hour kits and go bags for myself, friends, families, and clients, and it always amazes me how most of them have the same basic problems. Okay, fortunately, most of them are easy and inexpensive to fix, and I'm gonna basically tell you how you can identify and fix 10 of them. Okay, I don't want to write all these down because there's a ton of stuff to write down. It'd be easier just for me to talk to you, and you can make a little list and check off things and see if you're making any of these what I would consider basic mistakes. These are things that get overlooked and stuff like that. So anyways, first of all, medications. I know we just I've posted a list of top 10 things to have in your car and stuff like that. I've done the over-the-counter drugs top 10 and top 10 things that have in your home and stuff like that. But anyway, so I'm just going to go straight down my little list here. Okay, so medications. If you have medications that you have to take on a regular basis, you need to keep at least 3 days worth in your 72-hour kit. That's 72 hours, so you need 3 days worth, right? Many drugs break down in the extreme heat of a car. Okay, so if you are in a car, think about this. Ask your pharmacist how long they'll stay safe in your car and how long they'll stay effective. Okay, heat changes things. Okay, cold not so much. Cold is a great way to store things. Obviously, if you have any type of a cellar, you can see how effective that is. Yeah, heat changes the effectiveness of food, of the chemicals and minerals and stuff in your food. If there's a big difference between boiling or baking your food to just steaming it, right? Steaming keeps a lot more of the minerals and nutrients available to you without breaking them down and making them basically useless for your body to use, right? So same thing with the drugs. Okay, the life expectancy of your drugs will, of course, be different depending on where you live and the season of the year. Okay, moving on. Number 2, footwear, clothes. Okay, if you ever wear flip-flops, heels, or dress shoes, then consider carrying a pair of quality shoes / boots in your car. Okay, stick in at least 1 pair of quality socks and underwear as well. Remember the pictures and videos after 9/11 of people running barefoot and they're all holding their $500 Pradas or whatever they are, right? Imagine how your body would feel after doing that for a few miles. Okay, if any of you been to like Disneyland, most of you guys are probably wearing good shoes. You're going to be walking, and guess what? Your feet still hurt at the end of the day, right? How many miles did you probably walk throughout Disneyland? Okay, I don't know, not everybody's been to Disneyland, but that's an example that I go to because I've been there quite a few times, and my feet are always killing me. I mean, my whole body's killing me, but yeah, and I'm in pretty good shape, so I think it's just the standing in the line really does it for me. It just does me in. Anyway, so number 3, your clothes. for the wrong season in your bag, right? You should always be going through your bag and updating everything, okay? You should either carry clothes for both summer and winter, carry convertible clothes, or change the clothing contents of your kit every spring/fall, right? Depending on what's coming up. Shorts won't help much in the winter, and insulated coveralls aren't going to help much in the summer, okay? So keep everything up to date, or put stuff in there that you're going to be able to use in both situations, okay? If it's colder, you might have a few things in there that individually aren't necessarily warm, but telling you, coming from somebody that lives in Utah, layers are lifesavers, okay? You get hot, you strip a layer. You get a little bit hotter, you strip a layer. You start to get cold, put back on a layer, right? You want to keep from sweating as much as possible. You want to keep your core body temperature pretty even. You don't want to be cold and you don't want to be hot, but you don't want to be you want to be just right there in the median level, right? Next thing, 4. Okay, number 4, young children. If you have young children, they add a huge level of complexity to any survival situation. Okay, can or will they eat your survival food? Okay, believe me, some of the food that I have, my kids, I'm gonna have to knock them out with some horse tranquilizers and try to get them to have that dog reflex where you stuff it down in the back of their throat and it makes them swallow. Okay, so anyways, do you have spare diapers, clothes, wipes, whatever to keep your kids clean and healthy, right? Do you have any way to manage their pain from teeth injuries? Okay, teeth things, and other scrapes and scratches and cuts and stuff like that happen a lot when you're out there in the world, and it just takes one little thing to just really bring everybody down, because somebody's in so much pain because it got infected or something like that. Okay, and things can get infected pretty quick. Do you have a way to transport them? Okay, what if you don't have a car? What if it's an EMP that goes off? Okay, I know that's an extreme scenario, but what if it's an EMP that goes off? Everybody's cars are dead except anybody that's cars older than like 85, right? And I mean, I have my little VW Bug that'll probably be working, but it's not the most reliable car or form of transportation that I have. Do you have a way of getting your kids around? Okay, I've thought about this. I don't even have a bug out motorcycle. Okay, I don't. My bug out vehicle would be my Bug, but guess what? I'm going to be hauling on top of that Bug, despite some extra food supplies and other stuff like that. Going to be all of our bikes. Okay, my bike's totally tricked out with all these. It's got a little type wagon and racks and all that stuff hooked straight up to the seat, underneath the seat, and I'm gonna pop my kids on there, and my wife will be riding her bike or riding back there with the kids, and it's a good sturdy bike, and the tires are already ready to go. They got slime in them, so they're not going to be going flat. I got extra slime, I got extra tubes, I got extra tools and everything, so I can fix that bike right there on the street if it breaks down. Bikes, I know it's very primitive, but guess what? I'm still going to be moving, and I'm going to be moving quickly, and we're all going to be together, and nobody's feet are going to be getting all blistered and everything because everybody's been walking for hours at a time. So anyways, it might be worth learning how to use like a regular bed sheet to create like a wearable baby sling if you have a baby, or even a bigger kid, toddler or bigger. I mean, my oldest daughter's 8, and she's in the 98th percentile. She's really tall, big boned, she's healthy, and but you put her in a sling, I can sling her over my back and I can carry her pretty easily. Okay, if she's just not able to go on anymore, and I have some extra sheeting or something like that available. My other daughter, I don't know what percentile she's in. I don't even know if she gets into one because she's so tiny. She's 6 years old and she can still fit into 18-month-old shorts. Okay, she's really tiny, but she's a real what do you call that? she's a tomboy. Let's put it that way. Okay, she's good to go, and she's a fighter. Let's say that. She'd be easy to haul around. But anyway, either way, you want to be knowing some of this stuff. Okay. If you have a stroller with inflatable tires, do you carry spare tires, or do you carry a tire repair kit? Oh, that's sad. My flag just fell down. I'm going to leave it like that because I don't want to be fixing this. I got other stuff to talk about. Anyway, so 5, pain. If you aren't good at handling pain, learn proven techniques from someone who has done natural childbirthing, a midwife, birthing coach, or doula. Okay. In addition, consider carrying ibuprofen, Ambisol, or even prescription pain medications. Okay. If you're concerned about a hurt pet, if you're bringing a pet along, consider getting some livestock lidocaine. Okay, which you can also use on humans. It requires a veterinarian's prescription, but it costs a fraction of human lidocaine. Okay. Number 6. You know what? I can't take this anymore. I'm gonna fix this, and I'll try to talk while I'm doing this. Number 6, bad equipment. Almost every 72-hour kit that I know I'm talking out of my butt right now, or at least looks like it, right? Every 72-hour kit that I've bought or reviewed has had bad equipment in it. Okay, some of the worst offenders have been multi-tools. Okay, that don't work. Some of these Chinese pieces of crap that are gonna bend right in their hands. Okay, around that screw that they're trying to tighten, or nail that they're trying to break off, or wire that they're going to break. You can actually watch the metal just rub away, in a situation where something that's American made or German made or Swiss made is just going to slice through some of that stuff like butter, right? So there's been some other stuff. I've seen matches that are like brittle and break. You want to have nice tough matches that are made to be, get wet and all that stuff. Okay, knives that are dull. Personally, I know this sounds weird, but I'd rather be cut by a dull knife. Most people say that they wouldn't, and I remember growing up and always reading in the Boy Scout handbook, keep your knife sharp. You don't want to get cut by a dull blade and all this stuff. Bull crap, man. I think sharp knives are way scarier and hurt way worse. They sting a lot more to get cut by. But a knife that's sharp is very effective, whereas a dull-bladed knife is very ineffective. Okay, so keep your knife sharp. Even though it might suck if you cut yourself, it might go really deep. Maybe learn how to use your knife so that you don't cut yourself, right? Okay, you also want to have Band-Aids / tape that doesn't stick anymore. Oh, sorry. I found Band-Aids and tape that doesn't stick anymore. Okay, get the good stuff. Okay, for your 72-hour kits. That's one area. I know I'm always talking about, going the inexpensive route or least expensive route. Except for your first aid kits, get the good stuff. Okay, the things that you're going to use, the equipment, get good stuff. That's going to hold up, it's going to last, and it's going to take care of you. It's going to be there when you need it. The medications and stuff, yeah, go cheap as you can. Let's see here. Survival blankets that are worn through. Okay, I've seen that. Pumps, both water and liquid fuel camp stoves that have like dried out seals. If they're dried, they're going to crack, they're going to leak, and you're going to lose precious fuel, precious water, or precious whatever that you might need. Okay, and it's probably going to break too. The only way to know that bad equipment won't bite you in the butt is to test out all of your equipment every, 6 to 12 months. Okay, that's a good time frame. Maybe it's more often. Okay, but give yourself a fighting chance by making sure that your equipment actually works for you. Okay, and that you actually know how to use your equipment. Which leads me into number 7. Can you use your equipment? If your fire starter is a glass or Fresnel lens, can you make it work? Will it work in the late afternoon or evening? Okay, I started plenty of fires when I was a kid with my little magnifying glass, okay? Middle of the night, there ain't no sun, okay? And there's probably no, I'm guessing, no flashlight out there that's strong enough to give you a light that you're going to be able to condense hard enough to get a fire out of, okay? So, how, would it work on a, I'm reading this right here, just so you know. So, let's see. So what would you do at night? What happens when you eat your survival rations? Can you stomach them? Do they keep you full? If not, throw in some fiber capsules. Do you know how to start a fire with your flint and steel? Does everyone fit in the emergency shelter that you have? Can you carry your 72-hour kit go bag if you have to leave your car on foot? Okay? Like I said, I'm going to have a bike sitting there with a little trailer or a little pull cart that's going to be carrying all my stuff, okay? In short, you bought a 72-hour kit go bag to keep you alive in a worst case scenario, right? Does it do any good to carry around a bag full of stuff that doesn't work and that you don't know how to use? Like I just bought this flint and steel, okay? Fire making kit, okay? Flint and steel, how easy could that be? And I get on YouTube and I'm starting to look at like fire sticks and a bunch of fire starting techniques and stuff like that. And this guy's going through his different fire starting techniques, and all of a sudden he pulls out this exact one that I have, and I bought it at Harbor Freight. Nothing against Harbor Freight, but this thing was a piece of crap. I'm scratching off the magnesium, and I try to light it with the flint, and nope, that thing does not start. Didn't even smolder. Didn't even start to smoke and flame out. It was a total no-go. I have to go get some better stuff, okay? And I thought it was just it was $2. I was like, oh, great deal, I'm gonna put this in one of my girls' backpacks. Nope, that thing is going in the garbage. Actually, I'm going back to Harbor Freight and tell them what's up. I think that was a piece of crap, and I don't even know why they're offering it to people. By the way, it was made in China. Okay, serves me right. Buy American, people, if you can. Let's see. So, don't trust anything. Okay, that's basically what I was getting at. Take the time to test out the equipment that you expect to save your life. If it doesn't work, find a replacement that does work. Testing your equipment will mean that you'll have to replace some, and it means that you'll have to repack it. But until you know everything works and that you can use it, it doesn't do much good to carry it around in your car, right? 8. Water. Do you have 1 gallon per person per day and a half gallon per animal per day? 2 people and 2 dogs will require 9 gallons for 72 hours. At 8.35 pounds per gallon, that's almost 80 pounds of water, taking up 200 cubic inches. Okay? If not, do you have a way to collect and purify water? Much better option, don't you think, than carrying all that water? Do you have an empty 1 liter bottle, collapsible bucket, or water bladder? Do you have a way to collect and purify more? Do you have do you have one for both dirty and clean water? Do you know if your body can handle water that's been purified with iodine? Okay, some people have a lot of reactions to this stuff. 9. Pets. Do you have 72 hours of food for your pets? Are you going to feed them your emergency food? Are they going to be your emergency food? That was a joke. Will they eat it, and can they digest it? Can you eat their food if you need to? Okay, I know that sounds gross, but it's totally possible. Number 10. Bags that are all jumbled together. Most 72-hour kits have everything thrown in the main compartment. Every time you need something, you have to sort through all the contents. Okay? Consider taking some Ziploc freezer bags or packing cubes like Eagle Creek to separate the different categories of supplies. Make sure you mark everything very plainly. I like doing this by writing on a strip of duct tape or athletic tape. One method you can use to separate everything is the following system: fire, shelter, water, food, and medical. Okay, prescriptions, pain, stomach, etc. Trauma, bandages, splints, tweezers, scissors, wound irrigation, etc. Security, okay, gun compartment, tools, pets, clothes. Okay, so just set everything into these little separate systems, and things are going to go much easier for you. Here's the tricks of getting this all done. You can write down all the stuff that I just talked about and highlight the things that you need to do. You know, and pick the easiest item, do it right now. Cross it off when you're done. By the way, crossing off to-do items is great for your mind. It lets you know that it's done, right? And that you can, that's one thing off your shoulder. If you can fix more than one issue in a day, that's great. Keep going. If not, make a decision to fix one or more problems each day until they're all taken care of. Okay? After going through this process, two things are going to happen. One, your 72-hour kit will be much better stocked. Two, you will have more confidence and peace of mind knowing, since you know that your 72-hour kit will support you and your family in an emergency, rather than just guessing and hoping that everything will work out, right? We all know what hope has gotten us for the last 2.5, almost 3 years, right? We have a lot of hope, and we also have a lot of unemployment, a lot of raising of the value of your gold. Okay? So, guns flying off the shelf, ammo can't be found at any of the gun stores. Can be a real pain in the butt, tell you what. So anyways, take this stuff to heart. There's going to be something on there that you can find, you know, unless you're the perfect prepper. Okay? So, this is Irish Prepper signing out. You guys take care. See you in a bit.